Okay, so guys, today I don't have any trades to show you from the systems. As you know, yesterday there was a holiday in the US, so we didn't really trade. Better to stay away from the market in such days because there are simply low volumes. No need to force the things. There is always another day. So today's session is probably going to be a bit shorter. I'm just going to cover the charts, a few updates that we might have here, and tomorrow we actually no, this week that will be my only live room. I totally forgot about that. So I will be away till the end of the week, but next week we will continue. Okay. So the very first thing we are going to start with will be the Euro Kiwi. Now, as you know, we are looking for shorts here, but only after we get a confirmation. Quick reminder, this is our cycle, the weekly cycle. We are now seeing these two waves up. There is divergence forming on the MACD, and things start to look very, very good. Now dropping down to the daily chart, you can see that we do have this small sort of a triple cycle up. Again, divergence is here. And we have also this bigger cycle, so we have sort of a magnet zone at this level. One more thing we need to mention is that on the weekly chart, the pair has reached the 50% retracement of this entire move, which gives us another confirmation that soon we might see bears to get in control. So basically what are we looking for here is some sort of confirmation for ourselves to start looking for the sells, which in our case means either to get a convergence, basically lower lows to form. Sorry, that is a bit ugly. Something like that, as long as this high of course is holding. Or alternatively, we can look for some sort of triple cycle, which then we are going to follow for the correction and the potential breakout. Now we already had the false breaks here. Is it possible that we're going to get another push up followed again by a false break? Absolutely yes. But as we have already mentioned, we have all the bearish pressure coming from weekly, daily, 4-hour chart as well. You can see the MAs on the MACD are going down. We do have the histogram also showing bearish pressure. So for us, this is basically what we're looking for here. Swaven has a question. Swaven, let's cover that by the end. Actually, let me cover it now. Alright, so basically you have, let's say, Euro Kiwi here, and you want, if I understand your question correct, of course, if you want to see the euro dollar on this chart, for example, or the euro franc, whatever, you just click on the pair and you drag and drop it inside. Okay, so click, drag and drop, release the button, and then you have the pair on the same chart. That's how it works. Okay. Let's leave that for after the room. Sorry. Let's focus on the trading part now. Okay, guys. Any questions regarding the Euro Kiwi? Is it clear what we're looking for here? Okay. All right. The next one that I would like to throw a quick update will be the Aussie Kiwi. Let me remove those things. Basically, what you're looking for at this moment is this sort of a range that has formed for us. Let me put the rectangles for you. So this is basically our range on the weekly chart. We do have this kind of a cycle that is coming before that. Basically, longer term direction here is buys because of this cycle, and we can expect the price to push to the 50%. In the bit shorter term though, we can see that the price is moving in one direction so far, at least on the weekly chart. We do have band to band and now it's breaking above. So if we are going to measure the distance here, something like this, you will see that the duplication or the half duplication of the Bollingers comes exactly to the top of this range. At this point on the MACD we are starting to break above it, so there is no more divergence, at least at this point, right? This could be recreated here later on with sort of continuing divergence, but at this moment MACD is breaking above it. So what we can expect is potentially further moves up towards this zone right here, and once we get our confirmations on the lower time frames we can start looking for short-term sells, and then we will see how the market reacts. Okay, any questions guys so far? This is, by the way, our daily cycle. So we have 1, 2, we are now playing around the 100 zone, and if the market decides to push, you can see where the 161, it's right in the middle of the top of the range on this weekly chart. Okay. All right, let's see. Next one is coming from the pounds. All pounds are more or less interesting, mainly because they are moving and they are at the great levels based on the higher time frames. Now pound yen is the first one. You can see that we got really close to this range right here. This is the range that we are following. Price came close to this support zone and the swing low that we had on the daily chart. It was respected and price pushed up. Going down to the 4-hour chart and the 1-hour charts, we can see that we had this sort of movement here, which created for us higher highs. So basically, as long as this low is holding, we can look for the pullbacks and then potential continuation up. Now, Vlad mentioned in the weekly video that we expect to see a top right here, which was fantastic call. Divergence formed, false break on the top. Now we are inside probably a correction phase. So once again, going down to the lower charts, we can measure this cycle up, something like that. It doesn't really matter how we're going to measure it. We get a cycle from the triple family, which means that we are expecting correction and then continuation up. Regarding the correction, we have sort of double-double, which creates for us one bigger double wave down. There is also divergence that has formed on the MACD at least. We do have divergence on the RSI as well. So basically what we're looking at this moment is to see a breakout and some sort of confirmation here that will tell us this correction is now over and we can start looking for the buys. Alright guys, any questions on this one? Okay, alright. The next one comes from pound franc. Pretty much the same situation we have here. 4-hour chart. Actually, let's start from daily. Again, we see this sort of a range here that has formed. Price has bounced exactly from the bottom of it. On the 4-hour chart, we also had convergence, followed by this divergence that is now giving us the pullbacks. Basically, as long as this low is holding, we can go and look for buys. You can also see that we do have here bullish divergence that is being confirmed on the 1-hour chart as well, because we have this irregular divergence as well. False break has already formed, so everything looks great at this stage. This zone, as long as for now, seems to be respected, so we're going to follow this pair, and if we have good volatility, we are probably going to see some good moves up. That's regarding the pound franc. Next one on the list is the pound kiwi. Now we said that we are after buys here. Also in the longer term, we do have this trend line on the weekly chart dropping down. Just remove these things. Dropping down to the 4-hour chart. We were following this range for some time, which was now broken up. And you can also see here that we have a triple cycle on the 1-hour chart, something like that. This level is holding, which is the top of the range. We do have bullish hidden divergence, which has started forming now. And based on our triple cycle from the 1-hour chart, we can actually expect the 50% zone to be reached. So even though we do have this kind of divergence already forming, is it possible that this is just the first leg correction of some sort to be followed and then one more leg down? Yes, definitely. This is also going to be the top of our range. You can see here marked. So guys, be conservative, wait for your confirmations. If you want to be more conservative, wait for the trend line breakout. Let me remove these things. Wait for a trend line breakout, which then to be followed by 2 more waves down. That could happen on the lower time frames as well, and then another break to the upside to confirm the buys. Okay. Vladimir says, and the MACD line is pointing down. You mean the MAs or the histogram? On the histogram, we do have divergence. Yes. Yeah, this is why I'm saying that this is our confirmation at the moment, because we do have this hidden bullish divergence that is already forming, and this is perfectly fine. We also have the confirmation from the 1-hour chart, but it is still possible that we might see something like that. So basically this is some sort of smaller cycle, which is the first leg, and we might get another smaller cycle for the second leg as well. Will that happen? I have no idea, but this is why when we have such situations, I prefer to be extra careful, and as I said, I will be waiting for double trend line breakout. So first of all, break the first trend line, push up, break above the last high, wherever this high might be, because we might push lower, and only then, if it gives us another pullback, up. Okay. Alright guys, pound Kiwi, pound franc, Kiwi yen, also an interesting one. Now in the longer term, guys, we are bearish here because of this weekly cycle that you can see. This is our weekly range. So in the longer term, we can expect the price to reach this bottom, ideally. But in the bit shorter term, if we go to the daily chart and the 4-hour charts, we can see that bullish pressure has already started. We said that we are looking for buys as long as this low right here is holding, which was actually broken, and that kind of invalidates our idea for buys. So at this moment, is it possible that this is going to be just a false break and then move up and then continuation down? Yes, definitely, absolutely. You can see that the bearish pressure is here to stay. We do have this divergence. We have divergence on these legs also. We do have divergence on the MACD, continuing divergence, which is starting to form now. There is also this trend line, which the market might go ahead and we can see something like this, false breaks and then continuation up. At this stage, we have no idea what the market is going to do, guys. So to put it simply, wait for now. Let's see what the market is going to offer us. I still believe that we should see some sort of correction, but you never know, because as you can see in the dollar cut, for example, price is just flying down, basically one move down, almost no corrections. Could that happen on the Kiwi yen? Yes, why not? Look at this leg, for example. One more or less straight move up. So should we bet and gamble? No, we wait for our confirmations. Once we have a good confirmation, good setup, we go ahead and trade it. Yes, everything is saying boosts are about to come. Probably we have divergences, we have the false breaks. Okay, give us the confirmation and we take it from there. Okay, any questions, guys, so far about this one? Anything not clear? No questions. Perfecto. Now the gold, let me remove these things. Gold has reached, once again it opened with a gap, by the way, right here. It is kind of stuck inside this very small range, as you can see. But going back to the higher time frames, we can see something very interesting, guys. Look at that. We have a spike here. We have a test of this level right here as well. False break on this part, tried to push up, immediately broke down. So basically this is a very good resistance zone for us, and we are still under bearish pressure. You can see that on the MACD we don't have higher highs, which means this divergence is still valid. We do have our cycle, sorry this is ugly, we do have our cycle which also comes to this place. RSI is starting to be in an extreme already. Stochastic also showing this bearish divergence. So in the shorter mid-term we can definitely expect some sort of corrections to the downside. For our chart we also have divergences on the MACD, on the MAs, RSI, stochastic, everything seems correct. So guys, what we're following here is simple confirmation, which might come in two ways. First of all, on the 1 hour chart, we can get something like this, a cycle from the triple family, which will give us the idea for continuation to the downside afterwards. We might get strong push down, more or less one wave, which will to break this low to get some sort of convergence. Which one is going to happen? We don't know. We remain neutral at this point. We are waiting for the market to give us the direction. Of course, is it possible to push again up? Absolutely yes. Look at that. This is the level. So this resistance zone, can we reach it before we get this move down that we're expecting? Yeah. Nothing is stopping the market from doing that. Alright. Let's see, guys, what else do we have as an update? We do have silver, which is more or less the same as gold. This spike, not spike. This swing high was also reached, but again we have the same story here. There is another level higher, which creates for us the zone like this. MACD, same story. Still below this high here, which means bearish pressure. So we just simply follow for confirmation. Where we are going to see it from which level, we don't know yet, and this is why we stay neutral at this point. For silver, we can basically have the same thing, either triple cycle down followed by double wave corrections, or convergence that will tell us that we are ready to move down for some sort of serious correction, and then most likely continuation to the upside. Okay, thank you, John. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I'm trying to, just put it as simple as possible, guys. Everything must be clear. This is why we're doing this live analysis, so we can interact with each other. So thank you for the feedback. What else do we have? We do have oil and the indices. Now, oil, we said that we are basically looking for this trend line to be broken, which is happening at this very moment. Now, we have mentioned a few times about the two candles rule. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of that, if you have seen the videos, but I would like to challenge you here. Can you tell me where, based on the 4-hour chart, of course, where the last valid high, guys, will be? That would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Wim says number 3, 1. Okay. All right. Well, for me, this one could be a bit tricky, but I always try to be more conservative, guys, and you have no idea how many times that has saved me from losing, because it's better to miss a trade rather than get a loser. If you start looking the chart, you will notice a few things. Let me see, maybe with this one. Now, the chart start pushing down. This is a valid high. Why? Because we have these two candles here broken. Okay. Then we had this one followed by this correction. Do we have the two candles? Yes. But then when we start checking the other ones, these two candles, for example, not reached. We were inside. Right? Not valid correction, this one. Then we have another push down, and those are the two candles that we are following right here. Not a valid correction, right? Not good. So for me, personally, that would be the best confirmation if we see a break above this level, first of all. The other way to look for more conservative entry, of course, is using the triple cycle family to give you a confirmation, and then followed by some small correction, improving the risk reward, and break out of the trend line. Alright? Besides that, everything here looks perfect. Of course, some of you might prefer to go a bit more aggressive, and that's perfectly fine. Every trader has its style, every trader has its confirmations. Just because me or Vlad or someone else is doing X doesn't mean you cannot do Y. It's your money, it's your account, guys. You do whatever you feel comfortable with. This is just us sharing what we do and how we do it. That's all. Okay, we have a few questions. Let me see. I think no one. Vladimir, I'm not sure I understand your question. I'm sorry. I think no one because lower high only on impulse wave. I'm sorry, I'm not dealing with Elliott waves here. I'm not sure what Elliott waves say about that, but this is not my style, so I'm not respecting their rules. I have my knowledge, I have my analysis, I have my rules, I'm following that. If we start mixing all of the systems and we put them together and all the ways we can analyze the market, we are never going to enter a trade, guys, because there will be always one system or indicator or strategy that will say buy, the other one will say sell, and they will invalidate themselves. So put your if you have multiple things that you're looking at, put them separately and follow them separately. Okay. All right, next question. Crystal ball looking for buys. Okay, that's perfectly fine, Lucas. This is exactly what I just said. We have different strategies, and it doesn't mean because we are looking for manual analysis to do X, strategy Y cannot provide the moves, right? That's the idea. If we are looking for a sell, we have an up move, and we are looking for sell at this place. It doesn't mean that because we are looking for sells at this place, this is our manual trading strategy, I don't know, triple B or SRS, for example, will give you a buy signal here and it will not go up. Why not? So we can enjoy from the strategy, make this buy, make our money, then once our reversal zone comes, we can look for sells. And that's perfectly fine. And this way we can ride both. And this is why I'm saying, do not mix the strategies or the analysis types. Stick to one and follow its rules. All right. Euro Kiwi. Yeah, Tiat. If you measure the trend line, something like this, that will give you the breakout, yes. But we said that we are looking here, first of all, either for convergence, that will come below this level, or we are looking for a triple cycle down. Okay? We are not simply relying on the trend line breaks. We want to see more confirmations. More conservative is always better because you have less trades but more quality trades. And believe me, guys, this is extremely important for the psychological part, because having less trades is okay, it's acceptable, but having more losers, it really puts pressure on you. Okay. John, I don't see your last message, so that's okay. Okay, guys, oil indices. This one is really interesting. We said trend line broken up. At this point, we are invalidated. So we are looking simply for new setups to form. The Nasdaq is really interesting for me. Why? Because we have a clear move which I can read very easily. We have probably a potential cycle here. This is the daily chart. Move up, correction, potential second move up. We already have the divergence here. Let me just remove that and zoom in a bit. This is the last high that was false broken. We are at the 60, sorry. We're at the 60 level at the moment. So we can see potential moves down either from this level or another push up and then potentially down move. Of course, we are looking for confirmations before we start selling. Don't just push the sell button because we have reached these amazing levels. That's about the indices. Let me see, gold, silver, euro dollar. That has not changed much. We got our triple cycle on the 1 hour chart. This is probably our correction. As long as this high is holding, we are after sales. Euro pound, same story. So I think we have covered all, guys, here. Those are the updates. I'm going to send you the report as soon as I update it. So yeah, it's breaking down, exactly. It is breaking down. So guys, that would be all from me today. Hopefully we are going to have more trades, actually some trades at least, for the tomorrow session. What will update you tonight in the other live trading room. So thank you for being here. Thank you for asking the questions and all that. Always pleasure. Thank you, guys. Okay, I'm going to see you in the Telegram groups. Bye for now, guys. Cheers.